Let's go to a suburb of New York City as we visit a great O-gauge model railroad club.
If you drive out to the Hamptons in Long Island, you'll probably pass close by the town of Ronkonkoma. Just off the Long Island Expressway, the town houses an attraction that is invisible to most passers-by. Here we'll find the Central Operating Lines, a club of over 50 individuals who are a testament to the resilience of picking up the pieces after relocating.
Well, the club actually started back in 1976 in Amityville, which is about a half an hour west of here. In the basement of a shoe store, there were about a dozen guys that decided they just didn't want to run layouts at their home. They wanted a larger area to run their train layout in. So they rented the basement of a shoe store at that time for $100 a month. And at that time, there were about 15, maybe 20 guys in the club. Unfortunately, the gentleman who owned the shoe store decided to retire at one point, and we had to move out of that location. We wound up moving into a building that was owned by the town of Babylon. And that was a building in the basement of a town hall building. And from there we decided, well, we didn't really want to stay out in that area, and the town wanted to sell that building at some point. And the building eventually got sold. We moved out here then. We were in a location in Holbrook, which is actually on the other side of MacArthur Airport. And we stayed there 5 or 6 years, and the rent just got too expensive, and then we moved to this location. We moved to this location in 1995, and we've been here since then.
Even though the club kept moving, there was the opportunity to make the layout bigger and better. There are several areas that the club considers special.
We have the mountain, which was from the other club, and then we have the monument, which was from the club in Patchogue, which we obtained from them when they went out of business. We also have the Grand Central Terminal building, where we have our passenger station in that area. And then we have an engine yard facility with an operating turntable and a roundhouse.
The bi-level passenger terminal is intricately detailed. One of the members spent hundreds of hours on this jewel.
The interior is fully detailed. There are benches in there. There are clocks that work in there. The tile floor is in that building. There are people in that building. There's a glass roof on that building. The outside of the building is all wood, and it's painted to look like stone with a special spray paint that he wound up getting a hold of.
Out on the platform, illumination comes from tiny overhead fluorescent lights as the colorful engines operate on the multitude of tracks. The club has a varied collection of engines and rolling stock. This allows the operation of both passenger and freight on the 4 main lines, so you'll see lots of movement and action. Industry is no stranger here either. You'll find it all: oil derricks, factories, and city scenes. The list goes on and on, but all these provide a purpose for the railroad, and that's what makes operating it so much fun.
On Friday nights, we'll have operating sessions. Sometimes on Saturday nights, we'll also have operating sessions where a bunch of the guys will get together and run trains. We don't really have what you call planned operating sessions where we do special movements on the layout most of the time. We'll do that once in a while. Mainly, we just get together and run trains on the layout.
There is plenty of detail, from the park to the city streets to the highway crews hard at work. A multitude of bridges provide for many colorful views. While currently under block control, the layout is undergoing a transition to digital command control.
We have the Lionel command control system hooked up and operating on the layout, the TMCC system. And we also have tried the new Lionel system, the legacy system, on our layout. It's not currently hooked up, but we have had it hooked up and it has been working. We also have the MTH, what is called the MTH GCS system, but that's only operating on the 1 main line at this point.
To increase their club exposure and to raise money, the club also engages in a very successful annual car project.
We started with, in I believe 82 or 83, we started with doing a single club car. And since then we've done a car every year. And last year we started with a new project where we're doing a 4-car set of cars in addition to the 1 car we're doing.
And what new projects are being contemplated?
We want to make modifications to the layout to improve the layout. We've just made some modifications to the water area was redone there. We want to do some changes to the engine yard area to improve that area a bit. And we are also going to put in an elevated main line at some point that'll kind of be like an L like they have in New York City. It'll be an overhead main line. that'll run from the Grand Central Terminal along the one side of the layout down to what we call the Rico Station by the door of the layout.
So when you pass through Long Island, think about the Central Operating Lines, a group whose spirit and willingness to learn from their experience has turned their club into a recipe for resilience.